instruction, golf news, equipment, travel, interviews, course profiles, and more. Your weekly fix of all things golf is about to begin. It's the Flagstick Podcast with your hosts, Jeff Botter and Scott McLeod. All right, welcome to the Flagstick Podcast. I'm Jeff Botter. He's Scott McLeod. And we're here to talk a little golf with you. Sponsored this week by Cobra Golf's new King Tech X, King Tech X1 length irons, designed for a wide variety of handicaps. The King Tech and Tech X irons deliver the ultimate combination of performance, precision, power, and forgiveness in every swing. Find a local fitter today for better ball striking experience. Visit cobragolf.ca to learn more. Check us out on all social media networks, of course, Instagram, X, TikTok, and Facebook. Please subscribe on Spotify, Audible, Amazon Music, and Apple Podcasts. And, of course, we do encourage you to check out our YouTube channel. Like us, click the notification bell. Make sure you never miss anything we put up there. Because, as we say, stuff goes up there all the time.
It does.
And if you're not subscribing, you're missing.
Yeah. Look, a quick note on the Cobra front. They've got some other new product that's actually coming out in about 2 weeks.
Okay.
And I'm going to go check it out next week.
Oh, that's right, too. You are gone to the
California
the west side. You're going to the west side, the California coast.
Yeah, a little quick dodge into Carlsbad to check out Cobra Golf's new headquarters and some new products that I think December 12th we can talk about. So
okay.
Pay attention to that, people.
All right. December 12th. Coming soon to a podcast near you.
There you go. Some cool stuff. Going to collect some content and stuff down there. So, mentioning obviously our social media channels, we'll be recording some interviews, collecting some content, maybe a little travel vlog, whatever the case. And we'll get that all put together and pump that out as soon as we can.
Cool. All right. Well, this week on the show, we're going to wrap up a little bit of news and events and such on the front nine and on the back nine. We're going to give you a little bit of a taste, if you will, of the reluctantly, as I say it, the holiday gift giving for golfers. Maybe a few gift ideas. You have to actually buy those gifts before the holidays occur. Yeah,
right?
Yeah, I know. I'm not a procrastinator. I'm not a procrastinator. I just I don't like to really think too much about Christmas before December, and it's not December yet. I know it's close. Look at the dang Christmas tree's up. And when's the last time that
3 in my house.
know, but that's a mainstay for you. That's a norm. Yeah. Your Christmas trees are always up early. My Christmas trees do not go up early, but because with hockey tournaments and events and things, the weekends didn't pan out later. So my wife wanted to put the tree up earlier, so it's up. It looks good. The cats like it.
It is going to be December on Sunday.
I know.
So think about that.
But still.
Yeah.
But still. Anyway, so we'll do that on the back nine.
Yeah.
Talk about that. But let's do the front nine. Presented by Metcalf Golf Club, the natural setting, a pleasant challenge. Metcalf Golf Club's Black Friday sale is now on until December the 2nd. Perfect for the Christmas gift deal. Great Christmas gift deals on twosomes, foursomes, and more delivered right to your inbox. Visit metcalfgolf.com to get your Black Friday shopping in now.
Well, there's a gift right there.
There you go. So scratch it off the list. Scratch it off the list.
We're starting.
Okay. Well, I mean, here we are on the front nine. Oh, hey. Yes. Bryson did it, eh?
I know. Day 16? It was day 16, right? So if people are not following on social media, Bryson DeChambeau has been hitting a 95-yard shot over his house. He's got a green on the other side of it and vlogging it daily, trying to make a hole-in-one. Lots of people were following it, and he was successful.
Lots of people were duplicating it.
Lots of people have been duplicating or trying to duplicate it.
So one guy was duplicating it by hitting it over the roof of his clubhouse and he broke the window.
I saw that one.
I'm still curious as to whether Bryson is going to pay for the window or not. Because he was kind of throwing it out there because he actually made the hole in one first
early on. Yeah.
And then I actually saw another one where somebody was doing it on a sim over Bryson's house.
Well, that's been actually shut down already. So yeah,
It's kind of I get it, but it's kind of
Mhm.
funny
It
that
is.
someone like created a
Yeah, they did it
version of
in
his house.
yeah, they did it in GS Pro software, and but yeah, there's some legal ramifications there. So
Of course,
it's
there
been
would be, but it was
it
funny.
it
See, I was
was
like, "Hey,
funny.
that's cool. The guy's hitting it over Bryson's house. That's
Yeah, so
pretty."
there's lots of people trying it. It's no different than I mean, I'm going to try a break 50 challenge at some point here with on a simulator or whatever. I mean, why not? Those are fun things to do on Sims. I mean, I
Oh, why
played
not?
around a little
Yeah,
bit
of course.
last year with a hole in one competition and was filming it for a while, but man, you just get worn out at some point. You're just like, okay, this is no
I think
fun
that'd be a
anymore.
lot harder to do on a sim than real life.
Yeah, it can be, and I think it's
Well,
just
just
an
because the elements are different. I mean, you've got wind and stuff that can be built into the sim
sure,
parameters and stuff, but you're the biggest thing for me is is the putting. Is you're not putting on a green. You're putting, you're
yeah,
basically putting into a screen,
yeah,
and there's an algorithm there and things like that. The hitting shots is maybe a little bit different.
yeah.
Maybe that's actually easier,
Yeah.
because you
Just do a
don't.
hole in one challenge. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
like,
guess
but
too. Yeah. I mean, if you wanted to, I mean, I guess that's well, do we call it cheating or not? And we could set it up so that you're just hitting shots and it's auto putts under a particular range or whatever. But
yeah.
yeah, it could be interesting. I mean, solo, obviously, you're not going to go sub 50 off the front tees. Maybe that's a pairing type thing. Maybe you set it to 60 and go off. Who knows? Maybe something like that will show up on our YouTube channel at some point.
You never know. You never know.
There you go.
Good. Pretty good. All right. Well, we'd like to say that's a wrap, but the PGA and LPGA Tour have finally completed their 2024 seasons.
Yes.
The ladies on the LPGA Tour finished it up with the
CME Group Tour
CME Group
Championship.
Tour Championship, which we posted on flagstick.com. Brooke Henderson didn't win, but
Nope,
she got a top 10
she did. Tied for
in her
eighth.
final event. So that's a good thing,
Yep.
you know. The men on the PGA Tour, they finished up, and
The
I guess
RSM Classic.
that kind of sets up what will be those that will be moving on to the PGA Tour next year, and those that will be moving on to various stages of Q School to possibly get their PGA Tour cards that way, or possibly just end up on the Corn Ferry Tour.
Yeah. So obviously, some will drop back to conditional status. Same thing on the LPGA side. Next stages of Q School are coming up, and players will obviously have to vie for, the status that they have for next year. Even on the PGA Tour, the players are over 125. The 125 to 150 will still have conditional status. It's going to be a little bit more difficult next year because it'll be top 100, as we sort of outlined
Mm-hmm.
last week. So for those who it's all about starts more than
Yeah.
anything.
Well, a lot of
You
those
just
guys they're getting conditional status too. They're also likely going to play a lot on the Corn Ferry Tour because
yeah,
they're not going to get in every week. So
yeah, quite
yeah.
possibly if they're further down, but they'll try and take advantage of every opportunity, every start they can, because it's going to be very critical. Whatever events that they do get in, that they do keep that level of status, and that's the way it is on the women's side. It's top 100 over there right now, which was critical in this last event prior to the CME Group. I don't know if we mentioned it last week, but and we'll get to here when we talk about the list. But for the LPGA, the Canadians on the LPGA, but Savannah Gruel finished just inside. She made the cut on that second last event
Yeah.
because she wasn't eligible for the championship, but that got her to 97th. So that ensured her status for next year. Super, super important.
Now, somebody like Elena Sharp, who's kind of been there, year after year after year, now drops out of that top 100.
She
And
does.
now I would imagine there probably would be some starts that she would get, based on status.
Yeah.
But
Wouldn't
somebody like Motomi LeBlanc, who, that's a little further down the list, and Maddie Zurich is another one that's a little further down the list. It's going to be harder to get some starts on the LPGA Tour.
Yeah, Monami was at 147th, and Maddie finished at 192nd. So their focus is definitely. I would have to check. I'm going to have to check to see where they fall into position for Q School, and I think they should be automatically in the Q School finals, and they can obviously vie for in that Q series. They can vie for status there. So, but two Canadians that automatically in Brooke Henderson, who finished 13th in that race to the Globe points list, ended up the season at $1.32 million, by the way, and 9 top 10s for the year. And then Savannah 97th. So those two will guarantee their status for next year, and we're going to find out who can advance through Q School and or Q Series on the LPGA side, and who will represent in Canada next year.
So with respect to the PGA Tour and the Canadians on the PGA Tour, Scott, why don't we just get sort of brought up to speed as to where everybody stands based, all the players that we watched all year long, where they stand going into next year.
Yeah, a little bit more fruitful there on the men's side. If we look at a number of players that advanced, I think we have 7 that will advance finished within that top 125 of the FedEx Cup points list. Taylor Pendrith was T14th. Corey Connors ended up at 39th. Adam Hadwin at 47th. Mackenzie Hughes at 52nd, which because he finished 50 to 60th, there's 2 signature events that he will get in. He's not guaranteed all the signature events, but he's going to get into a couple. Nick Taylor at 60th, Adam Svensson at 87th, and Ben Silverman at 115th. Unfortunately, Roger Sloan and David Hearn were below the 150 mark, so they're going to have to look at alternative strategies for themselves to get starts back on the tour.
Yes, well, I mean that's part of the game, right? I mean, the up and down. There's
it's a tough go.
It's not a lifestyle that I think. I mean, it's a lifestyle I think I'd want to live. Right. In that, if I were there doing it and consistently in the top, getting my card every year and playing on the PGA Tour every week, I think that's a lovely lifestyle to have. I think the lifestyle that you have to live to get there, especially if you're at the bottom, man, that is a grind. Now, sure, you can get on the PGA Tour for a year, finish in 178, and probably cash in $1 million. So you're probably not doing terrible having played a year on the PGA Tour. But if you're not there every year, that money dries up pretty quick because there's a lot of other things that go into, and they've got to prove to their sponsors their worth, right? So I mean, if you're not on the tour, those sponsorship dollars, a lot of those contracts are not they're not NHL contracts here. They're not getting
big advances,
10-year deals here. So a lot of these things are 1 year and 2 year deals. I mean, they're not long-term deals, and they're predicated on your performance and being on the PGA Tour where you're getting potential TV exposure for your sponsors.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of the contracts are set up in ways that they're based on stages or where you're playing. Corn Ferry Tour, certain level, PGA Tour, certain level. So there's not a lot of guarantees, as you said, just like in a lot of other sports. So this is as much of a meritocracy as possible. There's definite finite. Boom, you finish this, you're done. It's not a matter of a coach going, yeah, they're a role player, we're going to keep them around.
Yeah, they're good in the room.
They're
not good in the room.
No, we're just not gonna see that, unfortunately. So it'll still be fun to follow for next year, and obviously we have Q schools to report on and one later on here in this podcast. Just we'll see status and who's going to be playing on various professional tours for next year.
Okay. Well, we had a little an announcement, I guess. Somebody that we've known for
a long time,
back in the Ontario Golf Association days. Claire Welsh was named as the tournament director, recently named as the tournament director for the CPKC Women's Open.
That was this week. I was quite excited about that. I was talking to Dan Pino from Golf Canada just before the announcement was going to be made, and uh, he sort of teased and said, "Hey, who do you think it might be, or whatever?" And I did get it on the third guess, I will say, but quite excited. We did a lot of work with Claire at Golf Ontario in doing a lot of things to bring back Ontario golf news. She was the marketing and communications person on the team there for 6 years, and she was there at that time. She did graduate from Carleton, and then she went on to a career at the RNA, where she progressively went up. Now she hasn't been with the RNA for about a year. She's just trying to deciding what she wanted to do. She's based in St. Andrews, Scotland. I managed to visit with her over there in 2014. And I've seen her at a few events over the years, but she's had some pretty significant roles with the AIG Women's Open and the Open Championship. A director of player relations. She's the person that would, deal with all the tour players and making sure that they had everything they needed to feel comfortable and want to attend events. And that's going to be very important for her in this role at CPKC Women's Open. It's good because from a women's sports, it's nice to have a female in this role, and somebody, especially with her experience, global experience that she brings to here. It's just not an executive skills; it's skills in helping run a couple of the two biggest championships in the world, and that's going to be very helpful for the CPKC Women's Open going into the future. And hoping to do an interview soon with Claire and talk to her a little bit more about that.
Very good. We should get her right on this podcast to talk about all this.
You shall.
Okay, so this one caught me a little off guard. It's never. I'll say this: it's never surprising when stuff like this kind of just pops out of the woodwork. You never know how long maybe somebody's been thinking about pulling the trigger on something like this, but it did kind of catch me on social media. It just kind of Facebook page popped out of the. It's like, what? Really? Yeah. Not that I expected him to call me and tell me what he was doing. I mean, I'm not. No,
I occasionally get a message or two from him, but I was surprised I didn't see anything yet. But I also saw his real estate agent was someone we know in Kurt Studley, who's been profiled in the magazine. They actually have a funny video related to it. So if you manage to check it out in the listing, it's actually pretty good.
So the Crooked Creek Golf Course in Athens has been, I guess, officially listed for sale.
Yep.
Real estate posting for this 147-acre, 18-hole golf course facility, owned currently by Gord Lay.
Yep.
PGA of Canada, PGA of Ottawa pro.
Long time ago.
Former president of the, was he former? Yeah, former president of the zone, I think.
So. Yep.
Appeared about a week ago. Now, the price tag, if you're interested, if you're a listener or a viewer and you're interested and want to own a golf course in Athens, Ontario, the price tag is a $1,199,000. That's the listing. So about 1.2 million. If you're interested in owning a golf course. As far as the golf course goes, if you're asking us, as far as the golf course goes, it's a great little country golf course. The clubhouse is just it's exactly what you'd expect of a golf course in a town like Athens. It's every time I've ever been there, it's always such a friendly little. There's always somebody sitting out, watching people golf. It's just a very friendly place. It's a quaint little clubhouse. It's not, you're not extravagant. You're not talking about massive banquet facilities and all that kind of stuff. It's the perfect little. Gord ran this place by himself. I mean, he was the superintendent. He was the head pro. He was the general manager. He was the owner. He was the greeter. He was the fixer of all things golf. If Gord can do it by himself, I'm sure 10 people could probably do it.
Yeah, and this, if he's successful in the sale, it'll be the third owner after the Dancy family, obviously. That's right, from them back in the day or whatever. And I might have news on another facility. I saw another facility that was potentially up for sale. Now, I don't know if their listing is current. I'll dig into it a little bit more before we share any news on that. But that would be in the Western Quebec area, but within the National Capital
Okay.
Region.
All right. So there you go. Want to buy a golf course?
There you go.
Look up Gord Lay at Crooked Creek, and maybe you can own a golf course. PGA Tour Americas final event of the season headed west. Announced Tuesday that Morgan Creek Golf Course in Surrey, British Columbia, will host the Fortinet Cup Championship in 2025. The 16th and final event of the PGA Tour Americas season will include the top 120 players in the season-long Fortinet Cup and will be contested from September 22nd to 28th, 2025. The 72-hole event will determine the Fortinet Cup champion and the season's top 10 players who will earn that very, very, very important Corn Ferry Tour status for 2026.
Yeah, they've been hosting this event at TPC Toronto, which is will go back to hosting their own Osprey Valley Open. And yeah, it'll be, I think as well, it'll lead to maybe some better weather conditions late in September. It was a little rough this year. You just never know in the end of September, but it was definitely cold and windy at TPC Toronto. And hopefully having it located in the lower mainland in BC will be helpful to that. So.
Definitely a nice venue to have a tour championship at. There's no question about that. Yeah. But you can't have a tour championship. That'd be like having the Tour Championship on the PGA Tour in Endicott, New York, or something in December.
Yeah,
this doesn't work.
No.
Okay, 4 Canadians in Champions Tour qualifying final. So this is Champions Tour qualifying.
Correct.
The final qualifying tournament is at TPC Scottsdale, the Champions course next week.
We have played.
Yes, we have. I remember there was a drivable par 4 on that one. You had to carry it across. Yeah. I'm sure they could probably carry it. 4 Canadians will be trying for 5 full cards or associate membership. So Danny King, Gord Burns, Alan McLean, and Dennis Hendershot, current caddy for Gary Woodland, and former looper for Mike Weir, Brennan Little is the second alternate. So that would be cool. Wouldn't that be cool if Brennan Little got in?
It'd be great if he could get in there. I mean, Butchie's a fine player. He and Mike Weir actually won the Ontario Better Ball way back when, before he went on to his caddying career. So he's a fine player, and it's just nice to have those players in the run. This is the hardest tour in the world to get on with only 5 full cards available.
We've talked about that a number of times, how hard it is.
A couple of these guys had associate membership status last year, and if you go onto flagstick.com, we have a little summary of how many events and starts they got. It's not many, and especially if you finish further, well, it doesn't really matter, because all it does is if you get associate membership, it allows you to go to Monday qualifying. So you still then have to go to qualifying that week and then get through. So that's a shot in the dark as well. So it's a tough go, but good on it for these guys getting through. I think for Danny, this is the 4th time through, and Gord Burns, who's only 51 right now, he's done it in back-to-back years once he's turned 50. And then Alan and Dennis probably have the most experience among these 4 as far as getting out and playing events. I think Dennis has played about 8 events, and I think Alan's played about 11 or so. So cool. Yeah, it's a tough go for them to get out there, but hey, it'd be nice for them to get out and join Mike Weir and Stephen Ames out there.
It would be. All right, Curtis Barkley is competing in Australia. Yes, Canada's Curtis Barkley is competing at the Australian Open All Abilities Championship this week. An even par. He finished second a few years ago.
Ron Burgundy.
What's that?
Ron Burgundy.
Yeah, I know. Well, a few years ago, he finished second. He's in 5th place after round 1. It is familiar ground for Curtis, who lived in Australia for some time, actually, as a kid, which is kind of something I did not know.
Yeah.
Now I know.
Now you know.
The event this week is obviously being held concurrently with the Australian Open for men and women. So it's something that they tend to do on the European side of things. Is these All Abilities Championships take place While other championships are going on, they kind of intermix the players together, and it's kind of cool. I mean, it's great to see Curtis doing this. I know, we talk about a grind, and for these players that play on these All Abilities championships, I mean, there's no big $1 million paydays here, and they're traveling all over the place to play in these because first of all, there's few options for high levels of players, All Abilities players to play, so they've got to go where the tournaments are, and they're everywhere.
Yeah, and the really difficult part here is when you take into the account the physicality of it. Curtis has a hard time with his body, with kyphosis, curvature of his spine, and so forth. He has a hard time like stretching out. He loves afternoon tee times, not morning tee times, because his body just does not function well for him. So imagine. It's hard enough for anybody who's in peak physical condition to jump onto a plane and fly for 24 hours to Australia, let alone for any person that has to deal with, maybe parts of their body that fail them a little bit or are adaptive in certain ways. So, even just to take that on, it's got to be daunting just to sit there in your mind and going, I'm not good when I sit down for an hour, and now I've got to go for 24 hours on a plane. That's a tough go. So so hopefully things play out well there. And as you said, he's had success here before, so hopefully the finishing round goes well for him.
Okay, so Canadian juniors are having a little bit of a success in Florida. Why don't you kind of fill us in as what's happening there?
Yeah, just the Sunshine State Amateur just finished up yesterday at Howie in the Hills in Florida. Canada's Eddie Gu, who actually lives part-time down in Bradenton, Florida as well. He lost out in a playoff. He closed with 67 to get into the playoff, and then ended up obviously tied for second. And then Sophie Weber from Burlington, I believe. She tied for 20th over on the women's side. And then at the AJGA Rolex Tournament of Champions, which was held in San Antonio this week, we had 3 Canadians actually tied for 5th place. Michelle Zing, Shauna Liu, and Aphrodite Deng. And then Anna Huang was actually part of the tie for 11th place as well. So, good success. It's getting to be that time of year where Canadians are obviously heading south. We even had a couple of our, like one of our Corn Ferry Tour players, Etienne Papineau, he tied for 5th yesterday on the minor league golf tour. We're going to see a lot more events here where a lot of the juniors are appearing down south in the next little while, and we'll obviously follow that. You can follow that on our social media channels as well, and also on this podcast.
All right. Well, that about wraps up our front nine. Something just for everybody to look for moving forward. Check out flagstick.com. Make sure you look for a revised edition of our in-tour golf facility directory for Eastern Ontario and Western Quebec next week. And also watch for the release of our Flagstick Academy indoor golf instruction series presented by Celtic Golf Center. We'll be filming all that at Celtic Golf Center in Kingston, which has its grand opening this weekend. It's open now, but its grand opening would be this weekend. So you might want to check that out. And if you can't get down to Kingston, check that out. Make sure that you're checking out the Kemptville location of Celtic Golf Center, where we may film some tips there as well. So who knows? Things to look forward to. But we have to take a break. When we come back, yes, we are going to talk holiday gift guide, whether you like it or whether you don't. So stay with us. You're listening to the Flagstick Podcast with Jeff Botter and Scott McLeod. Cobra Golf's new King Tech X, and King Tech X1 length irons designed for a wide variety of handicaps. The King Tech and Tech X irons deliver the ultimate combination of performance, precision, power, and forgiveness in every swing. Find a local fitter today for a better ball striking experience. Visit cobragolf.ca to learn more. All right. Welcome back to the Flagstick Podcast. Jeff Botter, Scott McLeod. I'm going to do the back nine with you now. Back nine's presents. He's laughing because he knows what's coming. Back nine is presented by Celtic Golf Center, now with 2 awesome locations, Kemptville and the brand new Kingston location, both featuring 5 state-of-the-art TrackMan sims. Your golf season never has to end. Enjoy a round of golf with friends. Join one of the many leagues. Get fit for some new equipment or take a lesson. Celtic Golf Centers have got you covered because it really is all about the golf. Visit CelticGolfCenter.com to learn more, book tee times, or to sign up for leagues. And as a note at the end of that, once again, grand opening of the Kingston location is happening this weekend. And the Kempville location is obviously already open. So if you get a chance, go down. I really do actually encourage you to go down and take a look at the Kingston location, even if you're not from that area or close to that area, sometimes these openings are kind of cool. And that facility is looking pretty snazzy.
Yeah. Well, see, you got a place to stop by when you come through town. So
yes, exactly. Unfortunately, I'm going to Pembroke this weekend, so
yeah, wrong direction.
I'm not passing through Kingston. I mean, I could pass through Kingston, but that would really add to an already.
It'd be a long route.
Yeah, so I won't be, but you will be.
Good.
Okay, so let's.
Reluctantly, Jeff.
Well, not reluctantly. It's just I know it's here. Like we're basically like less than 30 days away from.
I mean, this only really comes up for me because people start sending DMs and asking about particular things, because we have followers who family members know that they pay attention to what we talk about. So they reach out to us and say, hey, do you know so-and-so? Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. I'm looking for this as a golf person. Can you guide me towards something that my golfer in my life won't hate more than anything, or will love?
Well, I got something for you. Let me tell you.
Yeah. But
wait till we get into this, because I found something that every golfer wants.
I think the issue is for a lot of people is they want to give a golf gift to their loved one. But the thing is, they also don't know what they don't know. So they're hesitant and they don't want to just give them something that ends up just getting, thrown out or whatever. And there's certainly people will know. And I think we've actually done a whole show on that, talked about worst golf gifts ever. But, there's certainly stuff that just gets tossed and, will never get used. So they want to buy something that's, useful and appreciated by the golfer in their life, male, female, junior, whatever the case may be,
dog, cat,
whoever. So that's why they reach out, which we love, which is fun. But we thought we'd do a little segment here and throw out some ideas. So this way, as I'm characterizing it, people can, maybe if they're a listener to the show, maybe they can listen to this episode with their spouse or significant other, or the person that might be providing a gift to them. Maybe just so they can overhear it and maybe hear some hints about, and maybe go, oh yeah, that'd be great. That's cool. I really like that. And maybe that will give the hint to the gift giver that there's something that they want, would love to see.
All right, listen up.
All right,
listen up, golfers.
So where do you want to start?
Children and golfers of all ages, center of the ring. Let's start with stocking stuffers. This has to be the easiest one because you can stick anything in a stocking. So the easiest one, the easiest golf gift to give a golfer that you can stick in a stocking is golf tees.
Yeah.
It is the one thing that you cannot go wrong. You cannot swing and a miss. Golfers need tees. They run out of them all the time. They like them. Some like them colorful. Some like them plain wood. Some like them with brushes on top of them. Some like them with threads and screws and everything else. But God's honest truth, golfers love tees. Get a bag of 100. Get a bag of 100 tees. Get 3 bags of 50 different colors. Stick them in the stocking.
Yeah, simple as that. You don't need anything too crazy. Just keep it simple, and they're going to be more than happy with it because, as Jeff and I know, half the time when you're out on the golf course, someone is saying to you, hey, do you have a tee?
Yeah, or you're scrounging around yourself looking for one on the ground to use because you just, somehow broke your last one. And
yeah. And if the golfer in your life goes through a lot of them and you want to upgrade it over stocking stuffers, I mean, you can buy 1,000,
Box.
5,000, ten
Yeah.
thousand.
Oh yeah.
I generally buy every few years a large bag or a large box of bamboo teas that I make use of or whatever, and I have them for a few years. So it just makes it a lot easier. But yeah, all you need is a small pack or whatever if you can do it as a stocking stuffer, and it'll certainly be appreciated no matter what.
Exactly. Now things get a little trickier when you get into, gift giving ideas. So something like a golf glove,
Mm-hmm.
it gets a little
Sizing
trickier
dependent.
because you
Yeah,
gotta know the size. So, the easiest way to do that is to raid the golf bag. Find
exactly.
your husband's wife's golf bag, your kid's golf bag, dig in there, find an old glove, because I guarantee there's one in the bottom of the side pouch somewhere. There
Yeah,
might even be one or two old packages from gloves that they've taken out and they've never
true.
thrown the packages out because they say they're going to take the glove and put it back in the package after the round to keep it flat, but they don't.
Nope.
No, it usually goes in their pocket or it
which
goes
will which will which will
in
lead
a
us to
pocket.
some which will lead us to some other gift ideas in the next segment or the next section
Exactly.
here.
So yeah, golf glove. All weather golf gloves are also a good one too because that's kind of something that a lot of golfers tend not to buy themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So you can look into that as well. Uh, yeah, Scott, anything stocking stuffer like?
Yeah, I mean, if you're obviously trying for smaller items that, as you mentioned, things like teas, you can buy a compact, even sunscreen, stuff like that, that will fit in the stocking. That's something that golfers need. Sometimes they don't tend to get for themselves or tend to forget. A lot of times because they just don't want a big old bottle of it or whatever and put it in
Yeah,
their golf bag. But buy them some travel size stuff. Maybe buy some travel size stuff that might be useful. Gum, snacks, whatever the case may be. Put it in a package.
now, I was
Put
gonna
it in
say
a
put a package together.
Yeah, put a package together or whatever, and that can go in their stocking.
Advil.
Um, yeah, Advil, Band-Aids, all the little different things that something might need on the golf course, ball markers, you name it. And, again, it shows them that you care. You've put together something, as opposed to just buying one little item. And then it gives them something convenient that they can pop into their golf bag and they've got everything they need when they start the season again. So,
Yeah, that's a great idea. Another thing possibly is again, you're getting into some uniqueness, like golf water bottles, like the stainless steel
yeah.
water bottles. I'll tell you this right now. Having gone through a number of rounds of golf this year in some extreme heat,
Mm-hmm.
the very, very best thing that I found was I dug out an old stainless steel water bottle, like a thermos,
Mm-hmm.
and filled this thing with ice and water, like half and half. And that water kept me the whole round, filling up another smaller stainless steel water bottle that I
Yep.
kept out of out on my push cart, the little water bottle holder. The other one was in my bag, but this thing kept that water
Mm-hmm.
cold
Yeah.
for the entire day.
And you know what, to go with that, think about that as far as little items and things that you can put in the stocking stuffer. Maybe it's something related to powdered hydration or flavoring that can go with that, biosteel or
Yeah,
something like that are
not prime.
there's tons of different, tons of
So
different ones or whatever, that they can add to that. And again, it's something for their golf bag, makes it a little bit more
yeah,
interesting, and definitely something that golfers would make use of.
yeah, because you can get these little packages, these little, like, whether it's BioSteel or Powerade or Gatorade or whatever. You get the little flavor packs that come with the little tiny, looks like a sugar pack, like a sugar
Yeah.
tube, and you can get those in multi flavors in a box or in a package and just stick them in the stocking, and then they're perfect
Yeah.
to put in a golf bag.
And just remember, giving a golf gift is great because for the golfer, it feels like you're giving them permission to play more. So that's why they really, really like it,
So
even
be
if they're not.
careful what you give. Because
Right. But
you don't want to be giving, you don't want to be showing that you're giving too much permission.
true, but items like this are really cool. I think in the small items as well, I think we see things like custom ball mark repair
Yeah.
tools. Like pick out something that's maybe their favorite brand and then have it engraved, have something put on there as far as their date or their name or stuff like that. So it's theirs. And that, if all of a sudden somebody else picks it up, whether on the golf course, they'll know whose it is or so forth. But that could be something to happen as well. You can get some novelty golf socks. Those are some fun things. There's lots of different ones out there. And golfers sometimes want to be unique in what they're wearing, and that's a subtle way to do it without being all crazy loud or whatever. But those things are good. Other small items that they can pop in and would fit into a stocking would be like a putter head cover. Lots of golfers like having a custom head cover, so that's a way to do it with a putter head cover as well.
Cool. All right. Well, let's move up to the under 100 sort of category, as best under 100 that we can.
Yeah.
Now
have you got a beauty in here?
Oh my God. I found this thing. I don't know why. I don't know
how this week too.
I don't know why I was whether I was looking for it or I just found it because it got into my feed for some stupid reason.
Yeah.
But I saw this item. It's called a tally tumbler. And I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I have seen some
weird,
absolutely weird
gadgets.
This has got to be the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Why do you describe it, Jeffrey?
So the tally tumbler is basically like a coffee travel mug, beverage mug, whatever. But it has the ability, it has rings around it where you can keep track of your score, your number of putts, and all that kind of. And it's like a ring. So you, like, seriously, like, honest to goodness, a mug like a coffee travel tumbler thing that you put in your, like, you carry it and you put it in your push cart. And maybe somebody has one of these and is saying it's not that stupid idea. Maybe you love it. I saw it, and the first reaction was, oh, that's kind of neat. And then my second reaction was, that's really dumb. Who's going to buy this thing? Somebody probably does. They probably sell hundreds of thousands of these things and make money hand over fist. And it just seems like they do come in different colors. Now, the kicker on all of this is that, okay, I can go to Walmart, or I can go to Golf Shop, I can go to Canadian Pro Shop, and I can buy a tumbler for golf with golf stuff on it, or a golf brand on it, or a custom one, or whatever the case may be. And that thing probably cost me, I don't know, $30.
Yeah,
maybe. This thing's $100. It's $98.95. $100.
That's a rough
to keep score.
That's a rough price point,
dude. I don't know. Anyway, all right.
And if you own Tally Tumbler and you're listening to this podcast,
I'm sorry.
We'll take your DMs and you can get angry with us. But
send me one so I can try it out.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe
the best way to change my mind is to send me one so I actually think it's cool. So Tally Tumblers, if you're listening, jbotter@flagstick.com. Send me an email. I'll give you the address, or you can just get it off from flagstick.com. You can send me a couple of these things. I can try it out, and maybe you'll change my mind. But
a couple
right now, well, I gotta have a couple different colors. Like,
okay,
like I gotta, there's got to be field testing.
You're going to turn into the biggest Tally Tumbler fan in the world.
They'll probably send me a box of them or something like that and say, we'll give them away to our listeners. If you think that they're that good, we'll give them away to our listeners and see what they think. We'll give you some feedback.
Oh, all right. Okay. What else might we
custom yardage book covers? Like this one, I like. I like this a lot. I actually bought one of these for my son Brandon when he started playing tournaments this year.
Yep.
It's a yardage book cover, but it's also like a scorecard, has a scorecard keeper inside it, like the whole deal there. Nice. It's a really nice one. And don't ask me to remember the brand. I forget the brand, but it was a really nice one, like a leather.
And did you have it customized?
No, we couldn't get it customized, but that would be something that I would look into. Like if you're like, these things are cool.
Yeah, if you just look at it for next level. So some people might, put their name on it. They might put a logo of their favorite team. You'll see that a lot on the tours. A lot of players, Mackenzie Hughes, for an example, has a Maple Leafs one. You'll see players, normally a lot of the collegiate golfers will have their nicknames or anything on them as well. So it's a nice touch if you have the time to be able to do that. But, it's not always something people will take the time to buy for themselves, because it's not like there's a lot of them just waiting there, sitting at the shop. shop all the time. You get to some places and they have them, but it's usually something that you have to order. But again, a nice item that golfers will certainly appreciate.
Here's something too that another item along the same lines as that we gave some of these away. I think did we do it this year or last year? It's a valuables pouch.
Oh yeah,
These things are great, and I know that initially it may seem like a small, trivial kind of thing. It's like, what the heck is that? It's just a little,
it's
but
handy to
oh
keep
my
yourself
gosh, these things are
organized.
handy.
I
You
have a
can put
lot of
your
them.
watch in it. You can put
Yeah.
your some money in it. You can put like whatever you
Ball
want. Like
markers, your tees, like you
just
say, your change. You can store your ring in it. You can
yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Like they're
Uh,
great little things, and you can get custom versions of them. You can get like
mhm.
most of the golf company brands. I know. I think we gave
Yeah.
away valuables pouches at one of the Flagstick Opens one year.
Yep.
I
Back in the
gave
day of the
away.
shootout. I think I still
Yeah,
have a Flagstick shootout one from back in the day.
that's true. Yeah, I gave
Yep.
them away to at the junior intersectionals this year at
Mhm.
Hunt Club. I gave them away on the first tee to the A division. Gave
Yep.
away, and a lot of the kids are like, what is this kind of thing?
Mm.
And then now
Also,
you
you
talk
also
to
look
say,
in their golf bags, and their golf bags are a mess with,
yeah,
coins and tees and everything everywhere. So this allows you to kind of stay organized and have it in one spot because, there's nothing worse than digging into your bag and you can't find what you want. And
mm-hmm.
it's, you got to dig through all other 7 pockets to maybe find it. So if it's all tucked away in a valuables pouch or bag, it's a great way to do it.
Yeah. Now, as a golf pro, obviously you'll appreciate this one. Alignment rods.
Always.
Oh my gosh, this has got to be one of the single greatest product introductions to the
Yep.
marketplace in
Yep.
years, because not only is it a great idea, great concept, it is the simplest thing in the world. Takes up no space in your golf bag at all. These alignment rods, especially the collapsible ones,
Mm-hmm.
like these things are amazing. You can get them anywhere. You can get them in
Yeah.
every different color, whatever.
Yeah.
And the handiest things for
And
helping
you can,
you with the simplest part of your golf game, which is just aiming.
yeah, and more than just aiming, there's lots of varieties of things. I mean, I can remember doing a full feature on this. We did this one with Kevin Haim a few years ago,
Mm-hmm.
where we did a whole feature instruction on multiple uses for alignment rods. And you
Mm-hmm.
can actually, I think that's up on flagstick.com if people want to see that. But there's a lot of different things that you can do with them. Fairly simple, low cost. It can go all the way up to super fancy ones if you want, or
Yeah,
whatever,
for
for
sure.
higher cost. But like you said, the portable ones are great. The ones that fold down into 3 sections, they're fantastic. Be it putting, short game, whatever. There's lots of different uses for it. So again, it's not something somebody that's a non-golfer is probably going to think of, but if you're giving it for a golfer, it's something,
Yeah.
again, they should have in their bag. And it's something I ask students all the time. Hey, do you have a set of alignment rods? So half the time they go, yeah, they're at home. But and alignment rod covers. If they have alignment rods
Yeah.
already, you
Sleeves
can,
for them. Yeah.
right, you can do sleeves that protect the top so that it doesn't scratch up their woods of their other clubs. So yeah, good spot there.
Yeah. All right. A couple of other things here.
I
Let's
like the
see.
tripod. I'm getting more and more
Yeah.
people that are asking about that. I actually have one here. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this well. This is one with a MagSafe top to it. So you can, if you've got a MagSafe case on your phone, you can just connect it right to it. This extends all the way out. It's only about $35. So you can use it quickly on the range just to check out your golf swing, and low cost. Even it comes with a little bit of a remote. So if you don't want to go over and have to press the button, you can actually just click it and it'll go. More golfers all the time are kind of looking at their golf swings and they're kind of paying attention to it. So lots and lots of ones out there, and it doesn't have to be super, super expensive. And in fact, this one's small enough from a portability standpoint. It'll go up to 5 feet long, but it would fit in a stocking.
There you go.
Yeah.
See, stocking stuffer.
You got it. And I have far too many tripods.
Yes, you do.
From photography
I have
standpoint,
two main tripods now. I don't use them for my golf swing. I use them on the ice for hockey, but
yeah, for sure.
they have spikes in the bottom of the legs to keep
Yep.
them from moving, and I clip my phone into them for recording sessions
Yep.
and things like that. But yeah, no, they're tripod handy. I don't think
Yes.
I'd use a MagSafe one on the ice with me, only because the kids bump into the damn things all the time and the phone's going to fall off. But if it was outside, I definitely would. I would
Yeah,
use it
MagSafe
from
just makes it just a little quicker
quick.
to do it. Maybe not quite as secure as some other supports on the top or whatever, but yeah, great idea as well.
Okay, so we want to move through here a little bit. So we're
Sure.
just going to skip a few, and we'll just drop down here to a couple of things. Foldable chipping nets for use in the backyard. These are really cool because a lot of people don't have necessarily a lot of space in the backyard.
Mm-hmm.
To have like what I have here at my house, we have like a 40-yard
Yeah, a
hole
little pitching area.
basically.
Yep.
So we don't have chipping nets because we have holes with cut holes
Sure.
in the ground and stuff like that, and we have a hitting net and whatnot. But if you don't have that, and even if you're just hitting the foam balls or the wiffle balls or
Mm-hmm.
whatever,
They're
those
great.
foldable chipping nets are awesome because you can
Yeah.
put them wherever you want and pitch into them, different shot shapes, different shot heights, things like that. They're a
Yeah,
great idea.
and you can get like a single, or you can get sets as well. Like
Yeah.
I have a portable set that I think the three of them, I don't know what I paid for them, probably under I don't know, whatever it was. But because they have different sizes, you can kind of work on your accuracy, use them inside, use them outside. Just fun to have as far as a target, kind of get your carry distance there. So pretty useful.
Okay. Let's move up to slightly under $200 here.
Sure.
And this one is gonna um, this one's gonna upset me to say because it is kind of one of my pet peeve kind of deals there. But the Bluetooth speaker,
Yes.
um, when used correctly, I love the Bluetooth speaker. Hey, listen, I used one. I played a
Yes.
round of golf. Played a couple rounds of golf with my brother and my son Brandon at the end of the season there. We had the Bluetooth speaker rocking on the push
Mm-hmm.
cart with the music, but the music was at a level where we could hear it
Mm-hmm.
when we were, in our group, but that nobody else on the golf course could hear it. So love the
Perfectly
Bluetooth
fine.
speaker. Great
Yep.
idea.
Yep.
Great fun, turn around to golf fun. You got your music going, you're rocking out, everything's good. But turn the dang thing down
Yeah.
and keep it
Look,
for your group only. Because if I'm playing golf 3 holes over, I don't want to hear your crap.
Grandpa's going to come over and chase you down.
I am. I am going to chase you down. You're not going to like me.
And we should note there's a lot of integrations as well now with Bluetooth speakers. I think that started back with the Bushnell with the Wingman, but there's a number of them now that also integrate GPS devices
Yeah.
within them that will
Yeah.
actually announce yardages. They're multi-use as far as the speakers. So yeah, a great item, especially in that range.
Another awesome item: Sunday bags,
Mm.
quiver bags. These
Yeah.
little things that you can just you're going out for a quick 9 or a quick 4 holes or whatever, and you just throw a few clubs in. You don't need the whole
Or go to the
waterworks.
range. Yeah.
Yeah, you can throw all your clubs in these quiver bags. Like it's not
Mhm.
like you can't put your whole set of clubs in there. You can
No.
do it. Like we again, we gave away one year at the Flagstick Open. We gave away quiver bags
Yeah.
with a little flip stand on the.
Yep.
Coolest little thing. Still got
And
one
I've
in the garage, but
yeah, and I've done this with Sunday bags. I've actually traveled with the family, and actually I've taken my main bag, put that in the travel cover, put all our extra clubs inside, like, maybe it's a half set for my wife and my daughter, put that inside my main bag. And maybe I didn't take all mine as well, and taken 2 foldable Sunday bags. And there are some that are foldable. There's lots of different styles and that you can have, and then put that in there as well. So we only really had to bring one travel bag, and then basically unfolded the 2 little Sunday bags, collapsible ones or whatever, put the other clubs in it, and then boom, we were playing. Because again, you're on vacation, you may be playing 1 round or 2 rounds. You don't have to haul a lot of stuff there. Same as if you're, as you said, going to play 4 holes or going to the range, you're going to play 9 holes. Just want to do something quick, easy, light. Just take what you need. Nice little gift under the tree.
Exactly.
If it's going under a tree.
Yeah, under the tree. Putting mats is another one. These things have evolved a lot over the years. Like this is not like the little rampy one that has the little plastic rampy one that you used to get from Jeff World of Golf with the rollout mat that you putted up the ramp and it went in the hole and down and the little thing shot it out, or the ultimate putting cup, the little plastic one that shot it back out. These things have they're bigger, they're shaped, They have multiple holes in them, contours that you can add. I know I have one here where you can actually slide there's foam that you can put under the corners, under the sides, where
Just
you
to
can
create
add
different,
contours to the
slope.
sides
Yep.
to create slopes.
Love it.
These things have evolved so much. And if you're a golfer, or you have a golfer on your Christmas list and you want to get them something, you've got space in your house for someone to roll out an 8-foot mat.
Yeah.
These things are good.
Popular.
Yeah, very popular, and they're everywhere. So you can find them on Amazon. You can find them. Canadian Pro Shop online has tons of these things. You can definitely find one.
Yeah, lots of good brands, well put out, perfect practice, lots of different ones that are out there that you can make use of. And yeah, as you said, they'll be welcomed by any person that you're giving a gift to for if they're a golfer.
Now, something else you can look at too is various types of certificates. Now, whether and we put this in the under 200 category, just that these could be anything under 200. Probably not going to give somebody a gift certificate for $500, but you might. But you can give these gift certificates out, and it can be for anything. Like, for instance, you could give out a certificate for someone to get their clubs regripped, which is something that most golfers, if they're playing a fair amount each year, should probably have their clubs regripped each year. At the very least, wash your clubs,
please,
or your grips, please. But a regripping certificate would be nice. Maybe they want to change your grips up, get a new set on there. The other thing is, again, Scott, golf pros like this kind of thing. A golf club yardage gapping session with a pro. Cool little idea. You probably need to get a certificate of some kind for that to stick it in a stocking or wrap it up. But super important if you're playing a lot of golf to understand your yardages, the differences between your clubs. I mean, it can make a difference in a round of golf if you know the difference between how far you hit your 8-iron and your 7-iron.
Yeah, and again, it's always one of those things that players maybe want to do, but sometimes they hesitate to do it. So if they're given the gift to do it, it's much easier for them to do it. And it again, it shows something that's kind of very thoughtful. And as you said, certificates can relate to sort of everything. It could be lessons, it could be green fees, it could be whatever. So it could be under 200, it could be over. But don't be shy about giving a certificate, because obviously it's a little bit more flexible as far as what it is and how it's going to be accepted by the person.
Okay, we got to push through this list real quick. The last thing under 200 possibly is a set of Arcos smart sensors. This falls along the same lines as gapping and things like that, but technologically based. Check these out online. They're Arcos smart sensors. If you don't have a simulator or a launch monitor, these things can kind of replace that a little bit for you and track your whole round of golf.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so sort of under 500 ideas. This simple, I'm going to run through. Golf bags, pull carts. Everybody's using a pull cart now. I just got 2 new ones for myself and my son Brandon. Brand new ones, nice with a little swivel wheel on the front. Really cool ones. GPS watches seem to be becoming more and more popular because you're not getting out the little rangefinder looking at things, which brings us to another one, obviously, is rangefinders. Everybody needs to have some kind of rangefinder, whether it's a GPS watch or on your phone or whatever it is. You got to have rangefinder, stick it in your bag.
Measuring device.
Yes. Stay away from the ones with slope if you're competitive. If you're not competitive, cheat all you want. I'm just kidding. Golf travel bag, if you happen to be a traveler, is always a good idea. And golf art. People have art. There's a piece of art right behind me. If you're watching online, it says "Go for the stick." I had this. There's a custom-made piece of art over
your head. There you go.
Okay. Everything's reversed. Okay. Over 500, you're getting into some pretty specific stuff. So green fee certificates, obviously, if you want to get like a package of like Metcalf Golf Clubs, that's their 10, 20, 30 game packs. It's going to cost you a little bit up front, but the golfer's going to appreciate the back end benefits of that. Rain gear. Generally speaking, people are going to buy clothing like this for themselves. It's very personal, but maybe you can give someone a gift certificate for some rain gear. Or go buy them rain gear, let them exchange the size on their own. And lastly, we will say lower cost launch monitors. You don't have to buy a TrackMan. What's that?
No, No,
Yeah.
no, exactly. Yeah,
You don't have to buy a
very popular.
TrackMan. You don't have to buy a like a state of the art, but Flight Mevo
Yeah,
is a decent one, and it's a little more expensive
Garmin
than.
R10.
Yeah, there's a new one I just saw out, but it come out was like $7,000 or something. I think
Yeah,
it's a Garmin.
that's the Garmin R50, but
That
you can
one's
get
cool.
a Garmin R10. Rapsodo's got a lower price one. There's a few. Voice Caddy's got a few different ones. So
Yeah.
these are ones that are sub $1,000. So if they're a diehard golfer and they want some level of launch monitor, this might be something they'd be interested in.
Okay, of course, the universal gift certificates for merchandise lessons. You
Yeah.
know, wherever your player is a member at or close to, you can always go to their pro shop or contact them about getting gift certificates and whatnot.
Yeah, which leads us to one last thing.
Okay.
Don't be shy about reaching out to the golf course where your loved one plays golf.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to the pros, talk to the staff.
They might know them.
That. They know them probably. They could probably guide you towards a gift, and that's a great way to go about it as well.
Now, I'll tell you this: if your husband or wife or children are members at golf courses, their pro, if they're doing a really good job of understanding their customer, would have a book on everybody.
You got it.
They would know their glove size. They would know their shirt size. They would know their shoe size. They would know what brand of clubs they're playing, what brand of golf ball they like to use, because that is super important information for every golf club operator to know about their customers.
You got it.
There's just my little marketing tidbit piece of advice for you. Take it or leave it. My gift to you this holiday season. Okay. Well, there you go. We have helped you buy your Christmas gifts this year. You're welcome. We're glad we could help. I'm sure we're going to give you more and more great ideas over the coming weeks as we get closer and closer to when Christmas actually happens. That wasn't a slight at all on doing a holiday gift guide in November. Anyway, this is when you buy gifts. Hey, I get it. I just try to.
And there's more holidays than Christmas.
Yes, there's birthdays. Okay, we got to go. But thank you. That was awesome. Good to get that in and out of the way first. Thank you. Thanks to all our sponsors, Metcalf Golf Club. Celtic Golf Center, presenting sponsor this week, Cobra Golf, and the new King Tech X one-length irons, designed with a wide variety of handicaps. The King Tech and King Tech X irons deliver the ultimate combination of performance, precision, power, and forgiveness in every swing. Find a local fitter today for a better ball striking experience. Visit cobragolf.ca to learn more. Of course, we do hope that you're watching and listening to us. Be sure to follow us across all of our social media networks, Instagram, X, and Facebook, TikTok, and subscribe on Spotify, Audible, Amazon Music, and Apple Podcasts. Don't forget, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like us and click the notification bell to make sure you never miss a single episode. Get over to flagstick.com for more amazing golf content delivered there every day. And be sure to subscribe to our newsletter, Flagstick Digest, so you can get that stuff delivered to your inbox 3 times every week. That helps you stay on top of everything that we're doing. But that's it for now. As always, I am Jeff Botter.
Scott McLeod.
Always remember, go for the stick.